All right, here we go, YouTube. This one's big. It is a chess trap so important that it made it into the movies. What do I mean by that? Well, yours truly, that would be me. I was hired as a chess consultant for a movie recently. No, I'm not allowed to tell you which one, but I was tasked with teaching the two actors a very quick game that they could memorize. And I had only about 15 minutes to get two non-chess players to memorize this chess game, the one that you're about to see. I had to have one of them win a game very quickly, and I also had another one have to show some character development by playing very passively and afraid. So this is the game that I taught them. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. By the way, you can use this trap to win a game quickly. It's not just for the movies, and if you end up doing it, it will be like art imitating life, or rather life imitating art. Now I had white play knight c3. You can see why I taught the actors this. It's pretty solid chess. Did I talk about the happy squares? Probably not. They were trying to memorize their lines, but the knights are all on their happy squares. Now, good for black would be to bring the other knight out, just play the 4 knights, but black's character development is that he's scared and he had to play a very passive, meek move, and he played g6. Okay, and after g6 in this position, I like to play the move d4, and that's why I taught the actor playing white to play d4. Now, black took this pawn, and instead of capturing back, which is totally solid, totally normal and fine, I had white play the move knight d5. Now, the character playing white got a little mad at me. He's like, wait a minute, how come he gets to take my pawn? I don't get to take anything. And I was like, chill, good sir. You're going to win this game in dramatic fashion, so don't worry about that pawn. But, you know, he didn't really play chess. He didn't understand. Okay, now black plays bishop g7 to defend this pawn, and now comes the big finishing move. Bishop to g5 in black is pretty much already out of good moves. In fact, the best move for black apparently is to block with this knight. I have no idea who would ever do that, and black's not even allowed to do that because I was controlling the action. I was scripting this. The actor playing black had to move the other knight to e7, and let's be honest, you would too, because it looks like you're about to castle. Knight f6 would lose pretty normally by just playing the move pawn to e5, putting PP on the PP. Now, was I going to tell two grown actors about putting PP on the PP? No, I was not. I was just going to explain the moves. Okay, so this knight comes to the square e7, and now white plays knight takes d4, which is a fantastic move. Now, the actor playing white kept getting confused and trying to capture with his queen. And I know you're laughing. You're like, oh, ha, 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 that guy can't play chess because the queen can be captured twice. But don't laugh so hard, because the actor playing white was not completely out of bounds. He was just forgetting the order of his moves. When he forgot, he'd be like, line, and I'd be like, no, you have to yell move, not line. So the knight takes on d4. Now, here's the issue. If this knight takes, then the knight has left its post. This knight on e7 is not being defended anymore, and bishop takes knight, would trap the queen. Did I teach the actors that? No, because it was not part of the script, and I didn't want to confuse them. So the bishop takes this knight, and now comes the move that I told you not to laugh at, because it's actually the right move here. Queen takes bishop, a queen sacrifice. You can see why I wanted this in the movies. Now black's dark squares are really weak. Nothing's guarding all of these squares. And black, of course, captured because it looks cool to capture the queen. But then white plays this move, knight f6 check, because there's no more dark squared bishop. This poor black king has to go to f8. And then bishop h6. That's the checkmate that we were all wanting to see and is going to be in a movie. Now, the player playing black here tipped his king over, but had trouble tipping it over because they were using a real chess set and it was like triple weighted. So you can't just flick the cross on the king lightly. He really had to blast that king over. I know in real life we don't tip our king over after we're getting checkmated, but it's the movies. So this is a fun one. You got to see it first. As you know, in movies, it probably won't come out for another year or something, but a cool trick that you can use in your games. And if you do, you won't need me to tell you your lines.